My name is Will Gibbons, and today I'm going to teach you how to use video maps in KeyShot. Now, anywhere you can use a texture in KeyShot, you can use a video map. As the name would imply, it allows you to load videos in place of still images. The key difference being here is that instead of animating a texture, which can't really be done in KeyShot, you can load a video file that will then play on any surface you attach it to. So whether you're using this to create screens or animated buttons or lights, or show a texture changing over time, there's really a lot of use cases in which video maps come in handy. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it so you can take advantage of video maps in KeyShot today. Let's go. To download your free project files, visit willgibbons.com, click on the File Vault link, and either sign up or log in to enter the File Vault. There, you'll find links to dozens of project files and hundreds of other Product Viz resources. We'll begin by dragging our model into KeyShot. Feel free to use the import settings shown here, then click Import. Double-click on the red part to change it from diffuse to glass solid, and change the glass to white. Then go back to the scene tree and expand it and hide the glass part. Next, double-click the light gray body and change it to a metal material and hide it as well. Then double-click the remaining yellow part and enter its material graph. Right-click the empty area and select Texture, then Video Map to place a video map node. So a video map can be a video file or an image sequence. KeyShot supports many video codecs, but I recommend using an MP4 or MOV format for best results. Connect the video map output to the diffuse node's color socket. Double-click the video map node, then click the folder to load the video map. Browse to your project files you downloaded and choose the slow-mo fireworks.mov file. KeyShot displays some information about the file and asks if we want to extract PNGs or JPEGs. Select PNG for highest quality, or JPEG if you want to keep your files a little bit smaller. Let's change the output folder so our frames end up where we want. I'll create a new folder called Slow-Mo Fireworks Frames and click Select Folder, then OK. You should see your video map appear on your part. Then you can use the video map node's texture mapping controls on the right-hand side here to position the texture where you want it. To play back the animation, press A on the keyboard or click the animation button to expose the timeline. Click and drag the playhead to see the animation play back. In the video map node's time settings, you can change the playback count or frame rate. Usually KeyShot gets the frame rate correct, but always double check. Sometimes you can check the properties of a video file to see the frame rate. In this case, it was 23.98, so I updated the frame rate in KeyShot's video map time settings. To ensure the smoothest playback, you'll want KeyShot's animation timeline to match the frame rate of your video as well. So I changed mine to 24 frames per second, which is close enough, and you'll notice now our animation is 5 seconds long and matches the length of the original video clip. If you're looking to take your KeyShot skills to the next level, then check out the KeyShot Rendering Masterclass. Inside, I share the exact process I've used and refined over the past 10 years to deliver renderings to some of today's most recognized brands. With over 15 hours of content broken into 100+ bite-sized, beginner-friendly videos, this is the most comprehensive KeyShot course available. When you enroll, you will learn how to turn a boring CAD model into beautiful photoreal images. Stop wasting time searching for tutorials on YouTube and fast-track your learning by enrolling in the KeyShot Rendering Masterclass. Click the link in the description below to learn more and see what other customers have to say about it. Next, let's change the display material from diffuse to emissive. Feel free to change its brightness to your desired taste. And for further control, you can always use a color adjust node between your video map and its material node. After making the rest of our model visible, we'll choose an HDRI that has more contrast. Select your model in the scene tree, then press Ctrl D to call the Move tool and move it wherever you like. Back in the Environment tab, we'll rotate the environment to improve the lighting and set a solid black background color. For best results, I recommend creating a custom HDRI, and I'll link to a tutorial video all about making custom HDRIs at the end of this video. Before rendering, I like to click on the light bulb tab and use the product lighting preset. To render your animation, open the Render Output dialog and choose the Animation tab. There you can set your resolution and choose entire duration if you want to render the whole animation. Name your file and select your file formats you wish to be rendered out. If you just want the video, you can uncheck the Frames Output option. However, I always render frames just in case Windows automatically restarts or updates my computer while I'm rendering overnight. This allows me to salvage any frame that rendered up until that point and resume rendering where I left off. In the Options tab, you can set your samples per frame, and in this case, 100 would be plenty for me. I always recommend using samples per frame instead of max time because this will ensure that each frame looks equally smooth. Otherwise, you may end up with varying quality from frame to frame. When you're done with that, either add it to the queue or click Render. Now there's just a few things to keep in mind regarding video maps. Number 1, try to trim the video file down before uploading it into KeyShot so KeyShot doesn't extract any more frames than you need. And 2, if you want or need a video map with transparency, such as, say, fire, use a PNG sequence as PNGs support transparency where video codecs do not. All right, that's gonna do it for today. And by the way, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you very much. If you're a longtime watcher, you might know that this is the first video recorded in the new space, and I'd like to know what you think. I'm still working on making some changes, ironing some things out. I also played around with the format of this video. Let me know, do you like a really condensed video with voiceover, or would you rather I just record the whole thing in real time and talk you through things, even if it means a longer video, and even if it means I maybe fumble my words a little bit or make some mistakes here and there? I really want to know what offers you the best learning experience and is the most enjoyable to watch. So please let me know down below what you liked about this video, what you didn't like about this video. And thanks for your patience. I look forward to getting a lot more new content out to you. So until next time, happy rendering.